Oh, but I'm if you got the love and you bide your time, you're full of ambition, we will be fine, so come on. Come on.
Travesty, you just ruin it every time, man.
No, I don't. Pudding beg.
Just rap on it instead next time.
You know what? Why don't you just stop trying to hog the limelight and let the TR to the travesty have a bit of shine?
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah. I had my shine, girl.
Period.
I'd like to welcome everybody today to. There you go.
What? You gotta finish it. You gotta finish your dinner, man.
All right, then. Here we go. I'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's family affair.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah.
Actually, there's you know, before we start, there's two things I want to talk about really quickly. First of all, there's a load of locations I've been looking up where you can travel, you know, because now I'm on holiday, obviously, and I've been trying to figure out. And if you're still in England, these are the places that are open to you to go to at the moment. You ready? Central African Republic.
Yeah.
What?
I was going to say Birmingham City Market.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
By the Birmingham police.
Yeah.
Of course, you can always walk through a park with a Costco's coffee and get fined for a picnic.
The market's still open. Anyway, no, actually, I want to tell you why I'm a bit like I want to start off here because I noticed something fishy. Okay, so you can go to the Central African Republic. You go to Afghanistan if anyone's interested in that. Bahamas, nay.
Oh, cheap.
Cheap. Did you say cheap? You won't. By the way, you won't have to quarantine if you go here. You only have to quarantine when you come back. Ooh. You can go to Ukraine if you like a bit of cold weather. North Macedonia, but not South Macedonia. I don't know what that's about. Costa Rica, not Brazil.
Oh.
Brazil. Oh. Maybe it's time to stay.
I thought the death rate was high in Brazil.
At least, but the guy doesn't care, does he? He doesn't care. San Marino, if you're interested. Montenegro, Gibraltar. Nauru, whatever that is, Tonga, which I guess is in the Polynesian Ocean somewhere, and the Vatican City State. Now, the reason why I want to read this off is because the British got a cheek. They got a cheek out England.
No, here we go.
You're allowed to go to all these places if you're from England, but if you're from any African country, you're not allowed to go to England.
Really?
Yeah, if you're from all African countries, you're not allowed to go to England now. You're barred.
So, what, during the pandemic or just?
Yeah, and I'm like, wait there. The thing is, in Africa, you know, it's proven that the numbers are much lower in Africa, barring South Africa. But all over African countries, you're not allowed to go to England if you're from Africa. And I was like, I wonder what that's about.
You know what's up there. We don't need. It's the big R as usual. The big R.
Yeah.
That's all it means. The big R.
Anyway, and the second thing I want to talk about is what's wrong with England and this 30 £30 bag of food that the dish out.
That's not a £30 bag of food. That's more like a couple of quid.
That's like a couple of quid.
Literally, because if you got a tenner and you bought all that stuff, you could share it out for $5, a couple of quid.
Yeah.
What was it, Mideyah? Didn't someone tally it up and said it came up to £5.22p?
That's a lie. That's a raw lie. No, you know why? You know why? Because you know that you see the malt loaf. You get that in a pack of 6 for £1 or 89 pence.
Yeah.
So that's 3. That's why I said separate it into 5 boxes or 3 boxes. You've got that apples. You get a pack of 6. There's another 2 in each box. That's 3 boxes. So really and truly, you're getting all these pound products, dashing them in. A carrots go to Aldi 49p for a whole bag. That's what I mean. So really, how can that be a £5 per box?
I think the person who tallied it up did add the beans in, and they bought at 85p beans. Nobody buys beans for 85p anymore.
No, too expensive. You buy brand.
Yeah.
Someone actually, it says here, the food on the right provided by private company Chartwells equates to £5.22. The Tories have outsourced the free food meal contract, with each meal meant to be £30 worth of food.
Yeah.
And that's what's that?
Oh, is that a week or a day?
I don't know what that is. But there's someone's obviously put I think Pudding posted in the
Yes, yeah. And I know it's going around on Facebook as well, isn't it?
Yes,
I found out. That's ridiculous.
It's criminal how they're like, you know, because what is they include, I guess, is working time in it. How much time it takes to pack this stuff, you know, and stuff like that. That's the biggest markup. It's like when you go get your car.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's the same when you go and repair your car, to repair your brakes. You buy the parts. You're probably looking around £100 to get all the parts. 120 quid. And then obviously it's always the working time that brings up the price. So in the end, you walk out with a bill of 300 or 400 or 500 quid, and you're like, "Hold on a minute, what?" But the parts only cost a couple of hundred. Yes, the labour. So
hang
on, what labouring cost was it to put those little things in a bag?
National insurance, holiday pay, sick pay, all of that.
Half of those things you can get from the gardens.
That's part of your business model. You have to pay your staff, because the manager's not going to be sitting there packing all them boxes. So you got to pay somebody to pack the boxes. So when they outsource,
what about volunteers? There's a lot of
volunteers. There's no volunteers. Nobody wants. Listen, the government has given everybody free will to go and sit in their yard. Nobody's going to come and get free money, more money, including people who used to work now are getting free money. So why would you go and volunteer? The first place you should be volunteering, if that's the case, is going to be the NHS. Save the NHS, protect lives. Wait there, let me finish, Mideyah. I'm getting to my point.
Go on.
So, see, you've made me lost because you cut me.
I was going to say, stick to this £30 thing. This is how simple it would have been. They have it all ready, and the people who it was supposed to be given to, they come and pack it. All they needed was security to watch that they didn't pack more than they were supposed to get. Simple as.
It depends.
They would have rushed there for free food.
They would have probably rushed there for free food, but again, that will cause further outbreaks of this COVID, because everybody will be mixing and blending, lining up for the food.
But they're doing that anyway. Go to supermarkets.
That's untrue. I've been to the supermarkets a couple of times this week, and it's absolutely dead. Until I went into Sainsbury's and I was able to pick up mince, which had been marked down, and there was loads of it for 64p from 250 in the afternoon. You never see that because it's always at the end of the day. Because nobody's coming out, because everybody's trying to listen, and nobody's coming out. So the supermarkets are not profiteering like they did the first pandemic, because everybody understands that there is toilet roll, there's enough food to go around. Don't panic, right? And they haven't done it, thank God, this time.
Yeah, they're still eating the food from the last lockdown.
Yeah, and use the toilet paper for the next
non-essential stuff I can't.
You know what?
I can't find.
I agree with that, but also take into account the first lockdown, none of the takeaways were open, but this time they are. So people are still takeaway ordering, so they don't need the supermarkets like they did the first time, because everybody was trying to replicate the food they were getting from the takeaways. And that's why everybody took all the bread. I mean, not all the bread, took all the flour and all them, everything to bake was gone, because everybody was trying to bake sourdough and start some kind of bread business. It was going nuts.
You know what? I realised with this, I'm looking at this picture and I'm thinking about 30 quid, man. I'm actually thinking of the audacity. Yeah. I used to live on £30 a week. I used to buy shopping for myself, one person, £30 a week.
Yeah, easy. It's easy done.
So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, 3 apples, 2 bananas, 3 of these yogurt things
Half a pepper for me in the last one.
Yeah, that's how.
You know the cheek, not even a packet of pasta, you know. Like
No,
they opened the
for
pasta
50p.
and rewrapped it in the bag. Here you go, it's half the bag.
Yeah, 50p. Everybody know you can pick up a pack of pasta, 1 kg for 50p.
Yeah.
Probably less still. But
Yeah.
no, they're being stingy. At the end of the day, they should take back the money from these companies they've outsourced the business to. Give the people back the £30 voucher they were originally giving you to go to do your own shopping and leave it at that. At least, you know, parents weren't allowed to buy cigarettes. They weren't allowed to buy petrol. It was strictly for the food. So at the end of the day, he was working. I don't know why they always break things that are not broken. Try and fix things that are not broken, sorry. So it's just a waste of money. And this is what our current government's about. Just continuously wasting our taxpayers' money constantly on stupid things we don't agree with.
My only thing in this is, no, obviously, people have bought into this COVID thing now. So most people are convinced that this thing exists in the way the government and the media have put it out there. So what I want to know is, if COVID is here forever, and let's imagine the vaccines are not working the way they thought they would, what are these governments in the world planning to do long term? Because you will not be able to keep people on lockdown forever.
They're going to keep transforming the vaccine until it does work. Obviously, the vaccine they've had...
Can I just ask, though? Can
Yeah.
I just ask? Sorry to cut you both.
Go on, put it.
This is the discussion that I had before with my partner.
Yeah.
What's the vaccine there for? Does anyone know what the vaccine's actually meant to do for us?
It's just to protect the vulnerable.
Make you faint. Give you spasms.
My thing is, I've not once heard somebody tell me that if you have the vaccine, it's going to kill COVID or it's going to stop COVID. I've not once heard that.
Well, today
the
on
flu
the
vaccine
news,
doesn't stop the flu.
Right there, on today's news, they were saying that people who had been tested positive for COVID they'd actually done further testing and research on these individuals, and it turned out that they were immune for at least 5 months and more after they'd already caught it. But the flip side of that was that they could potentially still have enough in their system to be spreaders without actually having the symptoms. So once you got COVID, you are immune for 6 months at least. But this vaccine is supposed to be that immunity without you actually having to catch fully blown COVID. And that's why they're trying to roll it out for the more vulnerable people first and the key workers. So at least when everybody's got the immunity, if you catch it, it's not going to be anything like it was before they knew what it was. So, yeah, do you understand?
Just like the flu.
Yeah.
Just like the flu. Because
just like the flu.
Vaccine, and you still get the flu. It's just, oh my gosh.
We have to understand anything that's new and being discovered by human beings. It takes time to research and find out what works best for us to try and eradicate certain things. And in the end, it does happen and we do conquer it, to be fair. And that's why I know for a fact they've obviously got the cure for cancer. There's no way they've been working on this cure for so long,
for a long time.
and they haven't got a cure. Because they've got the cure, they're just, like we always say, that they'd rather make more money off people dying than actually making them better. So for them to be able to try make a vaccine for this pandemic so quick, within what was it, 8 months? Cancer probably was cured back in the 70s.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's whatever we're willing to buy in and how much we believe what the actual media is selling us.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that the Queen was already taking her vaccine?
Of course. She probably had it from time. They probably already, you know what I mean? Because she's 94, something like that. So she would be in the vulnerable area. They probably gave it to Philip first to see if it kill him first. You know what I mean? And then he was all right because he gets through anything, and then she took it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
there's obviously been some videos going around, and you see people with the effects of the vaccine, and they always seem to be like shaking crazily, and it's like epilepsy or something. They're shaking the whole time. I've seen a couple of videos so far, and I'm like, what is that? Is that what happens, man? Yo.
No, I think.
Well, I won't be taking it to find out, so I don't care.
Well, unfortunately, with every vaccine, it's not going to be good for everybody because unfortunately, their first point of call is to prepare a vaccine for one size fits all. And obviously, all of us are individuals, aren't we? So some people are going to shake, some people won't shake, some people will drop down, some people won't drop down. It's probably just potluck, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And if you've got, obviously, them underlying issues, this vaccine could potentially, you know what I mean, make those detrimental.
Yeah.
So who's to know? But with the more people having it, just like the people who have the flu vaccine, will it really impact on the people who don't have it? Because if most likely, most of these sheep will have it. So
hopefully.
probably 90 to 95% of the population will have had this vaccine. So even if 5% are left without it, there's no way we're going to be able to start it up again because you've got the immunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, something like that.
Oh, just one last quick thing before going to our first topic. Did you guys hear about Kanye West and
getting divorced?
I don't know what's going on there.
He's been getting divorced for the longest time.
I think it's due to his nervous breakdowns, and he was running for president.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's just become too much. He's crazy, isn't he? He's just unhinged.
Yeah, but
how do you know he's really
I want to
crazy,
say
though?
that. I don't know.
He's not crazy, but because he's in the public eye, he influences a lot of people. So people are watching for these crazy moves. It may not seem crazy if you're not famous, but when you are famous and everybody's got an opinion and more people are seeing you as crazy, they're going to label you as crazy.
So what is it actually they're actually saying about him?
Well,
No. What's happened is homegirl, Kim, whatever her name is, has come out and said, I'm divorcing because he's been having, for some reason, some geezer, some trans geezer, Jesse, whatever.
I don't think he's trans. I think he's just gay.
He's gay, but the thing is, it's like, hold on a minute, wait there. Kanye West has been messing with a gay trans guy.
Well, that didn't even come from none of them, you know. It come from a TikToker with a large platform.
Is that someone? Oh my god!
So
she put all these pieces together and was like, "Oh, you can see in the background here that this person was in the same location as this person at this time, and this is what's happening, and they both live in the same area." And I was thinking, "Oh my days, are people really buying into this?"
Pudding, darling. Sorry for cutting you. If that was said, and Kanye knows is not true, has he responded to this?
Wow, Jeffree Star has. He said it's not true. It's like, just because we live in the same area, why is this assumption come out that this is happening? Like, clearly this ain't happening.
Has Kanye West come out though?
I don't know.
Has Kanye come out and said anything?
I don't know. He only goes on Twitter for his own purposes and stuff. He doesn't really speak out about this sort of stuff.
All right, then all we've got to say to that is fair play. It's what he wants to do. That's up to him. Because remember, gay, trans, whatever has been legalized many years ago now. So who cares?
Yeah, it's true.
Really, who cares? He won't be the first and he won't be the last. From day one, men have been married to women and been sleeping with men for centuries. That's nothing new. So why they're making it a big deal, I don't know.
It's just new. I'm just trying to. And then people have you seen these these memes? Everyone's remember white chicks?
Yeah.
And we comparing the two like this is. We basically say, this is how it's going on with Jeffree Star and Kanye West. And you got them, one of the ways from dressing as a woman.
That's mean. That
Jeffree Star was even laughing at those memes himself.
I would have. Very classic. I would have gone on Facebook and have a look.
Live and let live.
That's what he did.
That's it's not even worth discussing. If they want to get divorced, that's their problem. Nothing new. If he wants to sleep with whatever his name is, who cares? That's what he wants to do.
Look at it. Look at this. Jeffree Star said on his Twitter, "I'm definitely not sleeping with Kanye, but the amount of rappers in my DMs is wild. B. Trying to make a hit song in bed, man. Yo, I reckon some of these rappers are proper fruity, man.
It was NBA players before, weren't it? Before these rappers, man, sneaking.
They're all doing it. In that world, in that celebrity world, they're all up to all sorts of rubbish. We already know that's nothing new. Nothing new.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even make it important gossip, to be honest. It's rubbish.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that's been bothering me. moving swiftly on to a first topic, something that's more interesting, I think, is
my first topic. I thought we were like eight.
With first topic. Yeah, my first topic. Anyway, is it right to describe a black person born with straight nose and straight hair as having European features?
Where do you get your full stuff from?
And is that right? That they should describe a black person who's got a straight nose and straight hair, thin lips, a person who's having European features. Is that right?
Who says this? Who says this?
No. This is
anything saying this.
This has been something that's been described over. It's been described for centuries, to be honest. When someone has a dark-skinned person has a straight nose, thin lips, they always say, "Oh, they've got European features." They never say they've got a black feature.
I've never heard it. Sorry, nobody's ever said that.
I do know that. Yeah, obviously.
African people
might say that.
But other than that,
it's Africans who have straight noses and thin lips too.
Yeah, I guess if you talk about the East Africans, then yes.
Mm.
You got like the Middle Eastern. The Middle Eastern people always have these crooked noses.
Yeah.
I think it's just part of the world where they live.
Yeah.
But why would they describe them as having European features, though?
Well, because you are.
Black people. How can you? If you have never been into a Europe and you're born in an African country and you've got straight features, why would you be described as having European features?
Because you think Africans in Africa are just sitting around with flies going in their mouth. They watch shows, There's TV programs. There's rappers. They see what we see some of the time. So they see what, you know what I mean? When they see a white person, they're going, "Oh, that's what a white person looks like." Yeah. You think there's no white people in Africa? There's white people in Africa.
No, you missed my point, Travesty. I says, when they see a person who's as black as my car, for instance, and they've got straight nose, thin lips, straight hair, why would they all refer to that black person as having European features? That's the point I'm trying to.
The thing is, the only people who look like this, how you just described, the only people who look like this are probably East Africans and Indian people have the Indian region.
Yeah, so why would you say that they've got European features then? Why would you say? Because basically it's saying you've got a white man's feature.
I think they haven't figured out a better way to explain it. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Simple as that, yeah.
Something that I've always wondered why they would say that.
You've got European features. Do you have European features?
He was said to me.
Have you got European features?
Exactly what the person said all those years ago. You British girls have European features. So you can't tell me I haven't heard it because I heard it way back when I was a teenager.
You know what? We've got European features. Most of us are mixed anyway. So we can have European features.
But the pure Africans who were born like that weren't mixed.
No, there's not.
That's why they haven't got European features.
Yeah, I also don't think
Look
if you get
the
a pure.
podcast and you'll see the pictures.
Look, if you get a pure breed, you start saying you got a white girl who's not a pure white girl. You get a pure breed white girl. She's probably gonna have no lips. She's gonna have a thin nose,
pale skin, really
pale. really pale. But if you got a pure African, you're gonna have the big wide nose, the black, the proper jet black skin, looking and probably gonna be really athletic and fit. And everyone in between mixed.
Don't you think that's a bit offensive though? Because when you see a pure white person, because there are those who are pure white who have a thick lips, and I'm not on about them who've got Botox either. So please don't.
Mixed. They're probably
no.
mixed.
They're going to be mixed.
They've got pure white people. Now there are pure white people who have flat-looking noses, and their hair's as straight as it should be, but they've got what you would describe as black features. But we don't go to them. You've got black features.
Yeah, you do.
But you talk about the albinos.
You would not go up to a white person and say
the
that.
albinos. Yeah.
I said it's a white guy when I saw him. I was like, "Oh, you got some big lips for a white dude, man. You see black." I said that to him.
In that way, yeah. But you wouldn't go up to him and say, if somebody you've got to describe him to someone official. You wouldn't say, "Oh, that white person has black features."
Yeah,
you wouldn't say that.
What would you do if you got a big bum?
Exactly. You can't.
Yeah, you say you got a bum like a white person. What do you got? Yeah, you got Jamaican bum chicks. Baby got back. Get me.
The way that the guys describe the girls now are slightly curvy. They say the girls are thick. They thick like black girls. You're like, I don't know if it's. I don't know. Just to come back around, I don't know if it's okay or not. I don't. Never really thought about it, but
I've said it. You watch, you'll go out there and you'll actually hear it, and you'll say, "Oh, that's what Mideyah was talking about."
And if anybody else said that to me,
because you had never took it in before, you've never actually taken it in before. That's why.
Well, they always say, I suppose.
You think the Jamaicans would say that because the Jamaicans are very mixed. They're very
they are. They're very Asian and white and all different.
They couldn't really say it. You look like because like if you was in Brazil, the same. You'd see so many mixtures. You wouldn't be able to say you look like European.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to skin color.
That's one thing you can give the Americans. They do not need to say nothing like that because everyone, as the guy said when I was listening, is mixed. So nobody needs to say you've got this mix or that mix or you that. People are just people.
Are they?
I think
I've heard African Americans and the Latinos, and then you got the Caucasian whites, and the rednecks.
Everyone considered an African American though in America, or do
I thought everybody who's black is considered African American.
I guess so. Unless
that's what they always say. You're African American,
and you've got the Caribbean Americans. They're not all classed as African American.
Is that a thing?
A few people that went in
originally came from being an African that was shipped to America, and they became African Americans.
Yeah.
So when you came from, say, the Caribbean islands. In Jamaica, I don't think they class you as what's the African American. You've come from Jamaica.
Jamaicans.
You're Yardie. You're still a Yardie.
It's the Jamaicans.
Yardies, any. They'll never shake that. They'll never shake that name. The Yardies.
Don't ever say that because they did. Yardies was like looked as bad.
That's what I mean. It's bad though.
Yeah, it's actually meant to be a derogatory term, isn't it?
You know what I mean? So
it's true. That is very true.
As time's moved on, you can't say Yardie.
That's
Rough next. All right. I've got one more topic.
What's that one you was on about pudding? You read it out quickly. I'm looking at it. Something to do with your schools.
Let's see.
Yes,
I was reading.
Oh, okay.
On something just a few days back, and this woman posted basically that she's at home with 7 children. They're all manic. Yeah, she's with a guy, as you can see in the photo, and literally, like, they haven't had no time to get a routine in, to the point where I think a couple of the children or one of the children smashed the mirror, and she's basically saying it's stressful. So I was thinking to myself, okay, then the fact that she's smiling in the photo with her partner, it's like, if this is an ongoing thing, just imagine if this was to happen for another year or two, could you continue to live like that? So I then thought of, okay, should schools have a partial or be totally responsible for the input of supporting a child's or a parent's well-being when it comes to the school, when it comes to the homeschool scheme that's currently taking place? Because there wouldn't be this if kids are at school. That's the mentality that I have. Because a lot of portion of your day as a child, you wake up around 6 or whatever, 7, have your breakfast and you get ready and you travel to school, and then you come back and you have your dinner, you have your few hours playing game, whatever, and then bed. So a lot of your time is dedicated to education.
That's a lie, because you've seen the meals they've been giving the kids. So you're making it sound like they're eating so good through the day.
She wasn't about the prophecy.
No, but she said they get up at 6, eat a breakfast. I thought that they were doing this because they didn't have money for breakfast.
No, she's asking, what Pudding's asking is, should the school be responsible for putting in place some support?
Yeah.
Of the kids
like
having to learn at home,
or a little scheme or something.
Yeah. Wait. Why would the schools look? If you decide to have 7 kids,
that's
I'm sorry, man.
No, it's not even about the amount of children.
They would have been at school if it weren't for the pandemic.
Yeah, but the thing is, you gotta,
Hear me out, Alstallio. They're all under a certain age. Every single one of them are at school with the time that they're meant to be at school. The havoc around the house, struggling for a routine, and I don't know how it is in Germany, but you have to teach your children at school now, at home. Sorry, you have to put them on a laptop. You got to teach them, and a lot of parents are struggling.
The thing I find crafty
Some
about
of them may not even be intellectual enough to help.
Exactly, it's hard stuff. I was struggling to do it.
I'll tell you the thing that's crafty about that. The teachers are probably still getting paid.
Yeah.
But we're doing their job.
Hey, Alstallio, guess what? I found out when I went back into the school first time this year. The teachers were at home. The teachers were at home planning, in quotation marks, and all the TAs were in.
Really?
So all the most paid staff were actually off, and all the ones that were underpaid were actually like in the building.
Yo. Oh, well, do any?
Yeah.
So all the low paid workers.
Where's the government?
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was gonna say was if you have 7, you gotta, if there was let's say there was an event that was gonna cause
schools to disappear,
not just proper pandemonium on Earth, a bit like this but worse. It was like an world-ending event. You got 7 kids. You have to figure out how you're gonna bring these 7 kids along, man.
Yeah, that's a lot of kids
on your own. You ain't got no one's gonna help you. Right now, nobody's helping. I got 3 kids, man. No one's helping us. We're in this now. We chose to have the 3 kids. At some point, I don't care how rich you are. At some point, you got to think, okay, how many kids should we have?
Yeah,
I think 2 is a good number. 3, if you think you can manage it.
Yeah.
7, I'm sorry, 7 is a lot of kids, man. And obviously now you're seeing the repercussions of having more kids than you can manage. Because then something like this happens, which no one anticipated, and then you're stuck there with 7 maniacs, man. 7 psychopaths in your house. Trust me.
Swinging off the lampshades and
looking all cute, but completely making a mess, destroying your house. As a famous lady would say, "Come out my house, man."
Actually, speaking of which, another flip side of that is, and this is, I'm going through this right now, is some children, particularly teenagers who are having to work at home, are losing the motivation to study online, therefore are missing classes unbeknownst to the parents. And you only know it's happening because you're getting calls and emails saying, this child has not been online. What is going on? I mean, I've had that today, and now what I've decided to do after speaking to that person's sister is I'm now going to tackle the school and say, this child needs to return to school as a vulnerable child because she's not motivated enough. She was talking about university a couple of days ago. Now she's not even going online to do her lessons. And I would like to speak to the mother after podcast, if possible. Thank you very much. There is
okay, if the mother's listening, if the mother's listening, please call in.
If the mother is listening, I would like to have a word so we can knock our heads together and find out what can be done in situations like this. I've noticed everybody's gone quiet.
Because we're letting you speak.
Get it all out.
That is the other side, because this is going on a lot now. Apparently, the teenagers are so frustrated, they're losing motivation, they're losing interest, so they're not actually going online doing their lessons.
No, they're not.
Yes, that's what's happening. And to a degree, I can understand them.
Does this want to be on their phone on TikTok?
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they're doing. That's trying to be fake famous, which is never going to make me famous because everybody's trying to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, nobody wants to work a job no more.
But guess what? As I said, I'm going to get in touch with the school and say, I'm now a key worker. That person needs to go in.
Yeah, it's true.
Simple.
It's true, Annie. Yeah.
Simple.
Do it.
They're vulnerable. They're going in.
Yeah, do it.
They're
going to be vulnerable.
I think. Yeah.
Because I bet they're going to be vulnerable when the mom catches them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very vulnerable.
Yeah. I'll be catching this weekend as well.
Yeah.
So just to top that off. Just to top that off. I don't think it should be completely responsible. That's like, it's kind of like the government having to pay for its people.
It does.
Yeah, it does, and it should, because if everyone's putting money into the pot, if everyone agrees that we're putting money into the pot, to help people who are less fortunate, that's okay. But I think in this case, if you decide to pump out 7 kids, you gotta just accept that sometimes it's gonna be rough for you, man. It's gonna be rough.
I agree with that. But sorry, let me just get this quickly out. At the same time, the schools and the government should be held accountable to a degree, because it is them who made it law that childhood should go through school. So if the children have been programmed to
that's the point.
They've been programmed to do this, and it's suddenly ripped away. It's going to have
it's like
a negative effect.
Yeah, it's like they've literally
just
do school for the term. All right, then COVID's back on. Boom, that's it.
Yeah,
they left me to it. For everything I had to learn about decimal points, but it was mad because I had to do place value and work out the percentage after. And I was like, how am I gonna do this? And I couldn't even hear. I was like, how can I do this? I don't know which bit to actually set. It was just mad. All I know is that they can't get lazy now, especially when you're getting paid. You can't get lazy. Why is it me, who's external part of education sort of sector, I'm still working even though I'm not physically there? I will oversee and do my session virtually if I have to, depending on the ability of my client. So there is ways around it.
There is,
there is hours. Even if you say, okay, 20-minute slot, I'll speak to this amount of parents today or guardians today or whatever, and try and get through it.
Well, you should be able to see if you're on a Zoom meeting anyway. There should be obviously doing the classes just like you would do if you was a student in university, and the teacher can physically see everybody.
Not everyone's doing Zoom. No, I don't think.
Oh no, well they should. Obviously they're too scared. So again, it is the responsibility of the teachers, unfortunately. But I'll go back to what Alstallio says. Obviously, if you're going to pump out 7 kids, you've got to expect it's going to come with a lot of hard work. And obviously, the benefit system has changed, so because it only caters up to your first 3 kids now. Yeah, you don't take care of your 4 kids after that. So. Really? Yeah, in England.
Come to Germany then, man, you get like 230. After you have, I think, the first 3 kids, you get 211 euros. And after the 4th one, you get 230. So if you pump out like 10 kids, you got a wage coming in, man. Come to Germany. Everybody come to Germany.
Guys. Oh, my life.
Yeah. I don't advocate coming to Germany, by the way, just letting you know.
No, I'm not coming. Thank you.
We're not coming. England's bad enough.
England's bad enough. All right. Good. We've made it to the end of another show. Thank you very much, guys. You guys are awesome. Let's see who should we start with. The last one was Mideyah, so you can be first.
I'm just saying, following on from what Pudding was talking about, I think that the teachers should be held accountable. I think they need to be doing a bit more than they're doing to help the children who are getting so frustrated and lacking motivation. They need to put something in place to give them some sort of incentive to carry on learning online, because you can't blame the youth for, losing interest. You can't blame them. And especially with TikTok there to tempt them away. So basically, teachers, do what you're getting paid for.
Oh, goodness me.
Travesty?
I'd like to say, I hope everybody's enjoyed the show tonight and keep on listening. Press like in the like button. No, actually, I'm only saying that because that's what they always say on the YouTube videos. Press like and subscribe. So thank you for listening. It was a lot of views last week, so keep it up, people.
Keep it up.
And then Pudding.
I'd like to follow on from what Mideyah was saying. I was going to say, when it comes to customer service or any sort of role you have in someone's life, don't get lazy. Keep on it, because dreams do come true.
Yeah, dream come true. It's true. Yeah, it's Pudding and Mideyah
just
too.
End the show
keeping
now.
Keeping it real, because it's true. Black Apocalypse and Family Affair.
Bye. If you buy the time, if you go.